Hello, I'm Nancy Matilda. Today, I will be hosting the 2024 secondary primary election debate. How do you plan on defeating the Republican nominee for president, Judy McMillans?
Okay, so the way I plan on defeating Judy McMillans is the same it was for 2 months. I was the Democratic nominee before it was unconstitutionally stripped from me. And in that 2 months, I was establishing myself as the opponent to Judy McMillans. I was doing very well. I was always up ahead than her in the polls, and I've never, ever been down against her. So I'll keep on keeping on the way I was before the nomination was unconstitutionally stripped from me.
So my plan to defeat the evil jaded Judy McFallon is very simple, okay? So first, tomorrow we will beat Derfla Woodcock in the primary election. We will. Yes.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Be quiet.
Okay.
So, we're just going to campaign our hearts out, okay? And we will spread the truth that Judy McMillans does not care about the American people. She doesn't. And she doesn't care about the working class and the middle class. She won't do anything to help them. She's going to help large corporations get the bang for their buck. So, that's what she's going to do. She doesn't care about the little people, like the average American family. And I'm going to tell everyone that, and I believe the American people will know who to vote for, and they will vote Kendall Hawkins.
But not tomorrow, they won't.
Yes, they will, Derfla.
No.
Yes.
Now for our second question. How do you plan on defeating the drug epidemic in America?
So, my plan to defeat and eliminate the drug threat and epidemic in America is very simple. We will stop the rapid influx of drugs on the southern border. What my partner or my counter opponent wants to do, she doesn't have any plan for the southern border. It was very simple, and we need to reform it entirely. We need to make sure these drugs aren't getting into this country, and we need to make sure we're also paying attention to China, because that's where a lot of drugs, surprisingly, are coming from. What my partner wants to do, I don't even know. What do you want to do, Kendall?
So, what I'm going to do is we are going to secure the border. That's what needs to be done. So we will increase the amount of border agents who are on the border, and we are going to ensure that undocumented immigrants will be able to be documented, and it'll become easier for more immigrants to be coming into the country while being documented.
Okay, but see, my partner has no plan, not my partner, God forbid. This woman has no plan to fix the issue at hand.
Yes,
drugs. We're not talking about the border yet. We're talking about drugs. Drugs are coming in from China, from South America, some from even Europe. We need to establish government efficiency programs which focus on making sure these types of things never get into our country. And we need our police to have wage increases so they're more motivated to catch these dealers.
My plan to fix the drug epidemic is, first, we are going to start creating more institutes that will help, which is rehabs, who will help people who are in need of getting unaddicted to drugs. We'll be making that more accessible for people. Second of all, we got to secure the borders, so that's a huge problem that's contributing to the epidemic. So we will not allow any more smuggling into the country, and that's the same with on planes, on international flights that are coming into the country. We are going to monitor these, every single luggage, suitcase, package that is coming in, because we need to ensure that we are not having any sort of smuggling that is coming in or out of the country.
Now for our third question. How do you plan to address the border crisis along the U.S.-Mexico border.
So my plan to address the border crisis is simple. Well, not really, but I've said it many times and it's very well known. So, we will increase border spending, increase border surveillance, and increase border patrol. We will also reform the entire immigration system, making it accessible for people from 7 years to 7 days. The fact of the matter is, one person should not be spending 7 years, and sometimes more. Sometimes it's more like 14 with military service. We cannot allow that. We need people to get in faster, or they're just going to come in illegally. And if they come in illegally in rapid numbers, how will we be able to control the good ones from the bad ones? We need to reform the system, making it from 7 years to 7 days.
So, I totally agree with Derfla that it needs to be reformed because our system is indeed broken, most definitely. And no one should be spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that they cannot afford in the first place because they come to the country as poor migrants to seek prosperity in America. And they can't because they're spending all their earnings on trying to become a citizen. It's just not right. So my plan, it will not be reformed to 7 days because it's not realistic. Because Americans need to work, immigrants, who want to become Americans, need to work in the United States for a certain amount of hours, which cannot be accomplished in just 7 days. So we need to have a longer period, more like 6 months to a year is what is more realistic, and that can be achievable.
Okay, Kendall, hold on.
What?
You want to make it from 7 years to 1 year? What about families? Does that count the entire family, or is that 1 year per person?
Well, if the family is all trying to get their citizenship at the same time, it'll take 6 months to a year.
Okay, so what about the families in Venezuela or Haiti who are fleeing intense violence, who need to come over fast? What's your plan for that? You think they're just going to come over legally and wait an entire year?
They can apply to get a visa. They're not going to be denied entrance into the country. They will still be able to apply for visas, which will be discounted. So it'll be more affordable for people to come into the country, and also, of course, get the necessary background checks and all that good stuff.
We have an effective visa program, but there's bad people who get a whole.
And that's time. Your time has expired. Now for our next question. What will you do on day 1?
So on day 1, I will begin my rapid 100-day program, which I plan on reforming many systems, including the immigration system, the education system, the penal system, the Justice Department. We need a factory reset, if you will, for the United States government. And during my first day, I will begin those reformations. I will also close the border for 1 entire week when we implement the new system, the new reformation system for the border.
So my question for you would be, you'd say the whole entire reform for the border will just take a week to happen?
No. What I'm saying is we will start the reformation, but we will make it to where enough of it is reformed within a week for people to start migrating again. We can't have it shut down for too long or people will continue to come over illegally.
Well, what if Congress does not pass this?
Then I will shut down the government until they do. I'm not playing.
Okay. Day 1, I get in office. Similar to Derfla, we're going to start working on the border right away. And immediately, also on day 1, we're going to start raising the taxes on corporate America, okay? We cannot let these corporate companies keep robbing the middle class Americans, okay? Enough is enough. And we're going to be implementing that day one to ensure that Americans start receiving their fair share. Corporate companies need to start paying their fair share in taxes. And that way, the middle class taxes will be able to be lowered, okay? And also, we'll start working on the new Green Deal. And we'll also start working on new jobs, which are going to be in solar energy and new green energy that will be able to create hundreds and thousands of jobs across the country.
Okay, so there's one issue with that, Kendall. You want to implement the Green New Deal? I like to call it the Green New Scam. Because it is a scam. It's going to get rid of millions of American jobs, from oil to car manufacturing. The Green New Scam will remove hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Americans from their workplace environments.
No, it won't, because we'll be creating many, many more new jobs with the Green New Deal in solar energy and in green companies. And also, it will not shut down manufacturing at all. We're going to start implementing. Of course, it's not going to be right away. We're not going to stop fracking. We're not going to stop doing stuff that is going on now. We're going to cut it significantly, but we're not getting rid of fracking at all, because that's not realistic.
How do you plan to not get rid of fracking, but implement the Green New Deal?
Like I said, it's not going to be all in one day. It's going to be over a course of time. We're going to start working on it on day one.
So you will, by the end of your term, get rid of fracking altogether?
Most likely, we're going to try and do that.
Wow. You heard it here, folks. Kendall Hawkins wants to ban fracking.
Yes, I do, because we need to save our environment. Fracking causes so many emissions that it's going to cause our earth to explode, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
I know what's best for America, and what's best for America is to save our earth.
You don't think the Americans know what's best for America? Are you just of better intelligence than them, Kendall?
No, I'm not saying. I'm presenting ideas for Americans to see, okay?
Okay.
And if the American...
And that's time. Now, our next question is quite controversial for many people. Abortion rights. They were overturned in 2022 when Roe v. Wade was declared unconstitutional by the United States Supreme Court. What are your plans for abortion?
So under my presidency, I will not restore Roe versus Wade. I will instead implement a 5-month ban. Because, I know, past 5 months, the baby is able to, in some circumstances, survive out of the womb. We should not be killing survivable babies. Sure, before that, they are not able to survive out of the womb. Therefore, they don't really have viability. But past 5 months, hell yeah, I'm gonna pass that ban.
Okay. I think a woman should have a choice no matter what. Abortion rights are women's rights. Period. Okay?
So you believe in killing a baby that is a couple days from being born?
It's not a baby, it's a fetus. Okay?
At 9 months, you want to kill that fetus?
I believe that a woman should have a choice to whether she keeps the baby or not, okay?
Even if it's a couple days from being born?
A woman should have a choice no matter what.
She wants to kill your children.
That's not true. If a woman doesn't want to keep the baby, which it's very rare circumstances, if the woman didn't want it, then she would have gotten rid of it in the first place. Women do not wait until the 9th month to kill babies.
But they do, Kendall, and
No,
it
they
happens. Don't. Okay. Would you like my team to send you the facts after this?
No, I don't want to hear anything from you or your team, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's keep it calm, guys. Our next question is, why do you believe you're the better candidate?
So I believe I'm the greatest candidate for this secondary primary for one of 4 reasons. 1, I already won it in the first place. 2, I won it in a landslide. 3, I'm gonna win it again. Number 4, I'm not a radical piece of horseshit. I said it. Kendall Hawkins is extremely radical. She just said she wants to kill a 9-month viable baby.
I did not say that.
But you just did. You said it was a woman's right to choose. So, if we say that it's okay to do that, you're a radical. You are radical, Kendall, and we cannot have radical policies. We need to heal the divide. We need to bring it back to the middle, not extremely left like she is proposing.
Okay, so what that thing said over there is not true. I didn't say you should kill your baby at 9 months old. I said women should have a choice to what they want to do with their own body, okay?
But Kendall, you're implying that they have the right to have the abortion, correct or incorrect?
They have a right to have an abortion.
At 9 months.
I'm speaking, okay?
Oh.
Let me speak. So I believe I'm the better candidate because I will fight for you and only for you because you are the American people and you guys are the brains. I'm your voice. And you vote for me and I will do what you want me to do, okay? Because we need a leader that is fighting for the American people. Not Derfla Woodcock, she's fighting for herself. And not Judy McMillans, she's fighting for herself. We need someone young and strong like me, okay?
You're not strong.
We cannot have an 89-year-old in office who will be well into her 90s, even in her first term. So don't even think about having a second term. She may not even live to see that because she's so old. She's old. We cannot have an 89-year-old. Listen to it.
And now for our last question. As we all know, on August 9th, 2024, Derfla Woodcock was shot at a rally in Los Angeles. Following that, her title of the Democratic nomination was stripped, and Margaret Kane announced her candidacy just a few days later. Then after, Senator Kendall Hawkins of California announced her candidacy. Everyone thought Derfla Woodcock was out of the race, but on September 10th, she reaffirmed her candidacy. Now, our question: why and do you believe the Democratic Party was stolen?
Yes, I do believe it was stolen. I never suspended my candidacy. The Democratic Party swooped in, stole my nomination, and implemented this secondary primary. For what reason, I don't know. I was never out of the race.
Okay, so Derfla, listen to what we have to say. You were gone and there was no sign of you coming back, okay? You can't expect the Democratic Party to just sit around and wait for you to come back, and we didn't know if you were coming back at all. We had to do something, okay?
So you stole my nomination.
It was not stolen, okay? We did not, the Democratic Party thought you weren't coming back. We didn't know if you were coming back or when. So we couldn't sit around and wait. And you had to tease around. And all we got was September 10th. September 10th. We didn't know who it was from. We didn't know if it was you. We didn't know if it was World War III starting. We didn't know if it was something about Stacey Williamson. We didn't know what it was for 3 weeks. You couldn't have just said, I'm coming back, guys. Don't worry. I'm still the Democratic nominee. Instead, you let us all fight this out for almost a month until you just come back 5 days before the primary election.
I made my Twitter profile, I believe it was September 1st. I made my Twitter.
Well, how was everyone else supposed to know that?
Search my name up. Listen, my campaign was still going. My website was still up. I was fighting legal obligations, legalities. I was not allowed to announce my candidacy or reaffirm it.
How were you not allowed? You didn't let anyone know. You could have said,
the Democratic Party fought me with lawsuits.
Well, they didn't tell us anything. They just said, Derfla Woodcock is not coming back. And then, of course, Margaret Kane became the nominee. So how are we supposed to know whether you were coming back or not?
I made my Twitter. I never
That
suspended
doesn't
my
said
candidacy.
anything. You may have made your Twitter, but you didn't post anything. Anything.
My website was up.
So, you could have been gone and your website could have still been up. That doesn't matter. You just didn't say anything, and you expect us to know that you're still
I wasn't
here.
allowed to. You want me to break the law?
How are you not allowed to? You could have said, I'm still running for president.
I
Is
was
that against the
fighting
law?
law cases.
What law cases?
You want me to explain it all?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one, I was charged with reckless endangerment for allowing the rally to take place by the Democratic Party. Then I was either forced to say I was out or forced to quit. Okay? And I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to lie or suspend my campaign.
So, I just don't understand because you still couldn't say that you were still here. We thought you were still in the hospital.
Because I was. I was in the hospital.
But you couldn't post anything, like nothing, saying that you're conscious or nothing.
No. It was public record that I was alive. It came out the day after.
But you couldn't. We had no idea what what circumstances you were in. We didn't know your health status or nothing. We did not know anything, so we had to move on. We couldn't let a month go by with nothing happening. You have to understand that. The Democratic nomination was not stolen from you.
Okay,
we had to move on.
Well, I'm here, and you're going to lose tomorrow, so.
I am not.
Okay.
All right. At this time, that is all we have time for. However, I'm sure there will be more discussion as tomorrow is Election Day. Make sure, if you're a Democrat or a registered Democrat, that you get out and vote. Thank you, and may God bless America.